Hey, it's Dan the Flavor Guy. Today I'm going to show you 2 ways to make candy bacon. All right, right now we're going to prep our cookie sheet and our baking rack for our bacon. You can use either aluminum foil or parchment paper, completely up to you. It's whatever you have. The reason why we're doing this is because all the chocolate and the brown sugar is going to leak onto the bottom of this pan, also the bacon grease, and it just makes cleanup a lot easier. So we got our aluminum foil in. We're going to drop our rack right inside that. It fits nice and perfect. The next thing we're going to do is just take any type of cooking spray. We're just going to spray the surface of this rack. All right, all done. The next thing we're gonna do, get that oven fired up. We're gonna turn it to 400 degrees, and then we're gonna start melting down our chocolate and getting our bacon ready. All right, now that we have our baking sheet prepped and ready, and the rack ready, we're gonna go ahead and get our bacon ready. We have 12 slices of Jimmy Dean thick cut apple smoked bacon. That's what we're gonna use today. So prep is pretty easy. We're gonna do a few pieces of bacon with the caramel, and then the rest are gonna be the chocolate. To set these up for the chocolate, we want them long and we don't want the bacon to shrink. So we're going to use these skewers to keep it from shrinking. So every couple inches, we're just going to go in and out with this to help keep it long. It's gonna look something like that. We're gonna do that on every single piece. The caramel, we're gonna go a little bit different. I have meat shears here that I use a lot to help cut the tougher meats, or in a situation like this, to cut something small. Super simple, easy to use. So we're gonna set the caramel one like so. And you don't have to necessarily use meat shears. You can use scissors if you prefer to use scissors. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you got. I just like using these because I keep it specifically for just cutting meat. Cuts right through like butter. Just make sure while you're feeding this through, you accidentally don't stab yourself on the other side. That could hurt just a little bit. Make sure you have a little bit of space between each one. Okay, our bacon's now ready. We're gonna pop it in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes at 400. When it's done, all the bacon grease will be in the bottom of the pan. We'll let it dry. We're gonna transfer this to a plate. Here we go. All right, so while the bacon's cooking, that's going to give us time to prep our chocolate and our caramel glaze. So here we have a half a cup of light brown sugar. You can use dark, it's totally up to you. It doesn't matter, it's whatever your flavor preference is or your taste preference is. So go ahead and dump it in the bowl. We have about 2 tablespoons of water here. We're going to add that in. And here, depending on how sweet and spicy you want this, the spice comes from pepper flakes. You can add 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon, or a whole teaspoon. It's all up to you. Here, I'm adding about 1/2 teaspoon, and then all we're going to do is mix. All right, super simple. It's done. You can see the pepper flakes, the brown sugar. That's ready to go. We're going to set that aside. Now the next thing we're going to do is make the chocolate drizzle. So we're going to use the double boiler method. We're going to use a small saucepan and a glass bowl to melt the chocolate, and we're also going to use the microwave. Let's get to it. All right, now on to the chocolate topping. We have a 1/2 cup of milk chocolate chips. We have a 1/2 cup of white chocolate chips, and we also have a 1/2 cup of butterscotch chips. We are going to get ready to melt these down. Like I said before, we're going to use both the microwave and we're going to use the saucepan to get this done. How the double boiler method works is the glass jar goes on top of that saucepan, and you're bringing the water to just before boiling to help gently warm this chocolate. If it gets too hot, of course, if you haven't tried melting chocolate before and it melts to a saucepan, it is a disaster. It takes forever to clean up. So this is one easy way to keep things easy for cleaning. So let's get busy. All right, our water's starting to boil, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it down just a little bit because we don't want the water boiling. We just want it warm enough to melt this chocolate. All right, so now we're going to put our glass bowl with the chocolate on, and we're just going to stir occasionally. As you can see, the process doesn't take very long. It is already starting to melt down. The nice thing about doing the double boiler method, where you have water in a pot and a glass container of sorts, is that you won't burn the chocolate. You will burn the chocolate if you stick it straight into the saucepan and try and heat it up that way. It's just too hard. It's too hot. With the boiling water, it just works so much better. Look at that. That is perfect. So we're going to continue this process till it's all melted, and then we're going to pour it over. So far we're about 3 minutes into melting down this chocolate. It doesn't take long. The other option you have is to do it in the microwave. If you do it in the microwave, make sure you have a microwave safe bowl. Put it in for about a minute to get the process started. Stir it, put it back in for 30 seconds, bring it back out, stir it. Repeat that process of 30 seconds, stir, 30 seconds, stir, till it melts. Let's go ahead and stir this. All right, we're almost there. The nice thing about this little metal saucepan I use is, if you can see right here, the steam is just coming right out that side. It keeps you from getting burnt by that steam. You always want to be safe. Make sure that you're using some sort of stove mitt when you grab this glass bowl. We're looking pretty good. You can still see a few chunks. It's getting to be a good consistency. I'm going to leave this on for just a little bit longer. All right, we just pulled the bacon out. The chocolate's still melting, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit the bacon with this spicy, sweet, or sweet and spicy caramel glaze. All right, all we're doing is just brushing it over. If it spills over, that's okay, because that's why we have aluminum foil on the bottom of this pan to keep it from sticking. And of course, while you're spreading this on, you want to make sure that you get some of those pepper flakes on top of that bacon too, because they're just floating at the top of this surface here. Make sure it's generously coated. And I'm only going to coat one side because I don't want this to be overpoweringly sweet. I actually want to taste the bacon, even though we are making candy out of it. All right, so we got the caramel side done. We're gonna wait for the chocolate. As soon as the chocolate's done, we're just gonna drizzle it over. I'll be right back with you. All right, our chocolate's done. Knowing from the past working with melting chocolate, the chocolate tends to be a little bit, dark chocolate tends to be a little bit thicker. So right here, I'm just using your standard barbecue basting brush. Any brush will work. If you want to use a painting brush, by all means, feel free to. So I'm just gonna put a nice coat of chocolate on these, making sure that I have enough chocolate to do all the bacon that I've cooked. And you have to work quick because this chocolate tends to want to harden up very fast. So finish up this last piece. Then we're going to go into drizzling our white chocolate and then our butterscotch over the top of these. All right. As you can see, this is already starting to harden. We're going to throw it back on the pot to steam it, melt it. Then you want to get it to the sink as soon as you can and get it rinsed out. Good stuff. All right, now we're doing the white chocolate drizzle. A little container like this in the microwave takes about 1 minute and 30 seconds. You want to do 30-second intervals to make sure that when you don't burn your chocolate. So I found that the easiest way to make a design is just take one of these barbecue skewers, get a little bit of chocolate and just flick it and make a mess everywhere. Have fun with it. Next, we still got the butterscotch we got to put on, and then these will be done. We'll end up throwing these things in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes to let the chocolate harden and to let the caramel harden. And then after that, pull it out. And you probably want to let it set here at room temperature for at least another 30 minutes before serving. That way they warm back up. All right, we're done with the white chocolate. Now next, we're gonna hit it with some butterscotch. All right, so the butterscotch was an epic failure. It wouldn't melt. When it did, it was super clumpy, it was disgusting. It would have made a mess, it wouldn't have looked good. Then I went ahead and tried caramel just because it has that same color. Same thing happened, except for this time, this stupid caramel wouldn't melt at all. So we're left with dark chocolate and white chocolate. Still looks delicious, still smells good. We ended up with the sweet and spicy caramel bacon, which looks fantastic too. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna throw these in the refrigerator, let them cool for a little while so everything hardens up. But here is the final product. Also, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, also hit the bell notification so any more cooking videos that I do will be brought right to you. Okay, so we've waited that half an hour so this chocolate and caramel could harden up a little bit on this dish. By the looks of it, it looks delicious. I'm ready to dig in. Hope you guys can see that. So, I'm gonna go with the sweet and spicy bacon first. Let's check this out. You can see the little peppers on there. That's what's gonna give it that spicy kick. All right, here we go. First thing that does hit me is the sweetness, that caramel flavor, which comes from the brown sugar, followed by the bacon. And then after the bacon, you get that little bit of spicy kick. So, like I said earlier, the spicier you want it, you're gonna have to put more peppers on it. You know, it just depends on who's eating it. Fantastic. Woo! I love it. All right. Let's try the chocolate and white chocolate. I did have an epic failure when it came to the caramel. Finger looking good. I did have an issue with the butterscotch drizzle. The butterscotch would not melt. I was kind of shocked. Even doing it with the double boiler method, which is the slow and easy way to keep it from burning, still did not work. I don't know why, but that's okay. Then I had some caramel chips. Tried the caramel chips. Caramel chips would not work either. There again, don't know why. So we just ended up with the chocolate and white chocolate. Sorry for that. But here we go. Let's dig in. This is good. Ladies, if your man loves bacon or if you love bacon, you got to give this one a shot. I mean, that's a good balance between the bacon and the chocolate. And you can definitely taste the difference between the dark chocolate and the white chocolate. That came out amazing. I'm actually pretty shocked. It's the first time I've ever tried it, but I love it. If you got a sweet tooth and you love bacon, this is for you. But I want to thank you for taking a few minutes out of your busy day. Hopefully you guys give this a shot and hopefully you like it. If you think you're going to give this a shot or you're going to try it, leave a comment below. Let me know if you are and what you think. While you're at it, hit that subscribe, click that like button. Don't forget to hit the bell notification. And thanks, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.